Hey student friends, I'm Ashish Jadhav, working in Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, Sweris College of Engineering, Pandharpur. And in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the basic concepts, basic mathematical concepts required to understand electromagnetic field theory. So that includes vector algebra, like this mathematical fundamentals. Then we will discuss coordinate system, in which basically three coordinate systems I'm going to talk about. Those coordinate systems are this Cartesian coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system, and spherical coordinate system. Then we will discuss about divergence, gradient, and curl. So basically in this segment of video I'm going to talk about scalars and vectors, different operations in vectors like scalar dot product and cross product. So let's begin with the vectors, right? So in this video, as I said, we are going to talk about scalar quantity and vectors. So let us understand the meaning of those two words, and then we will try to understand the difference between those two words. So scalar is the quantity which actually have a magnitude only. So it has a quantity whose value may be represented by a single positive integer, positive or negative integer, a single positive or negative real number, right? So some of the examples for scalar quantity are, and that first one is temperature, second one is mass is a scalar quantity, third one is volume, fourth is let's say energy, then I should write here a density is also a scalar quantity. Next is pressure, and for electronic students I must write here voltage. So if you observe all those physical phenomena or quantities, you will find these quantities can be described by only their magnitudes. They do not require direction, right? So hence these quantities are termed as scalar quantities. So let's move on to the vector. Right? So vector is the quantity which specifies both magnitude as well as direction. So vector quantity has both magnitude and direction. So this is specified by magnitude and direction. Right? So some of the examples I can give here. In that, first one is velocity. Second vector quantity I should say here, force. One more I can give, it's acceleration. So these are some of the vector quantities, and to specify those quantities we require magnitude as well as direction. Hence these are the vector quantities. Now let us understand the representation of the vector So if I want to specify a vector, the notation used to represent a vector are the capital letters, or the letters which are represented in a bold face. So for force, I should write a bold face letter F, or I should write capital F and a bar on the top of that letter. So this represents a vector F. Similarly, for velocity, you can represent this with the bold face letter, or you can simply put a bar on the top of that notation, that is vector V. So this way the vectors are being represented. Now let us see how the vectors are to be drawn. So you may have one point where the vector starts. This is start of the vector, and you have another point where the vector ends. So this is end of the vector, right? Suppose this point is point A and this one is point B. In that case, we will call this as a vector AB, right? So this is how the vector is being represented. Now for this vector AB, we will define this vector AB. AB bar is equal to, so to define this vector AB bar, let us understand the definition of vector. So vector, as I said, it is represented by a magnitude and a direction. So vector is equal to magnitude into direction. So by using this definition, I should write here vector AB bar is equal to mod of AB or you can simply write AB multiplied by A bar AB. This is nothing but unit vector. This this A bar AB is your unit vector, in the direction of AB. AB bar, and AB, mod of AB is magnitude of vector AB, right? So this is about the vector, how the vectors are being calculated. Now next, let us write a definition for unit vector. So unit vector hope this is visible. Yeah. So unit vector A bar AB is equal to, this is of course AB bar upon mod of AB, because this, as per definition we have, this is equal to vector upon magnitude, right? So this way we can find out the unit vector. Now the most important thing, as we have drawn the vector with the help of 2 points, point A and point B. Point A is the starting point, point B is the end point. So we have written this as a vector AB bar. Now to find this vector AB bar, we must know the coordinates of point A and point B. So let us assume the coordinates of point A are x1, y1 and z1. Similarly, for point B, the coordinates are x2, y2 and z2. So these are the coordinates of point B. So we can readily have this formula to find the vector AB bar is equal to x2 minus x1. So I am just going to subtract the end coordinates, subtract the starting coordinate from end coordinates. So x2 is the end coordinate and x1 is the starting coordinate. So multiplied by a bar x, this is unit vector in the direction of x, plus y2 minus y1 a bar y, plus z2 minus z1 a bar z. So this is the formula to obtain the vector. Next, to find the magnitude, a similar formula is readily available. So AB bar, for this vector AB bar, we can easily write this mod of AB, or you can say simple AB is equal to under root x2 minus x1 bracket square plus y2 minus y1 bracket square plus z2 minus z1 bracket square. So this is the formula to obtain the magnitude of vector. So for time being, let us solve one example to obtain the vector. So the example is to find vector PQ bar if P is 2, 1, 3 and coordinates of Q are -2, -4 and 5. Also find unit vector of PQ. So to solve this, we should draw the figure first. So you have point P over here and point Q. So this is the vector PQ bar. Right? So this is vector PQ bar. Now the coordinates, as we have mentioned, this has to be assumed as x1, y1 and z1. This is going to be x2, y2 and z2. We know the real values of those x1, y1 and z1 as well as x2, y2, z2. These are 2, 1, 3 and here it is -2, -4, 5. Right? So we simply use the formula. What is that? PQ bar is equal to x2 minus x1 brackets x2 minus x1 a bar x plus y2 minus y1 a bar y plus z2 minus z1 a bar z. So this is the formula. Just by putting the values into this formula, what we get is -2 a bar x plus into bracket minus 4 minus 1 a bar y plus 5 minus 3 a bar z, right? So what value, what vector we are getting here? PQ bar is equal to, so this is minus 4 a bar x. Next is this one becomes minus 5 a bar y, and this is 2 a bar z. So this is the answer for unit vector, right? So similarly I can obtain unit vector. So unit vector of PQ is nothing but it's just a bar PQ. So to obtain this a bar PQ, you should know the vector PQ, which is already calculated here, and divided by mod of PQ, right? So this is equal to, the vector is already calculated. The vector is minus 4 a bar x minus 5 a bar y plus 2 a bar z divided by this is the magnitude of vector. So we have a formula to obtain this, is x2 minus x1 bracket square plus y2 minus y1 bracket square plus z2 minus z1 bracket square. So by using that formula, or simply by taking the coordinates of this vector, you can simply write minus 4 bracket square minus 5 bracket square plus 2 bracket square. So by on simplifying this, you will get this a bar PQ is equal to minus 4 a bar x minus 5 a bar y plus 2 a bar z, right? So this is divided by under root 45. So this is how we can find out the vector. Simply we should remember one thing here: the end coordinates have to be subtracted, means you have to subtract the first starting coordinate minus from end coordinate, right? So this has to be kept in mind. Unit vector is equal to vector upon magnitude. This is another important thing. So guys, for this video, so we will stop here for this video. In the next video, we will discuss different coordinate systems, in which Cartesian coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system, and spherical coordinate system, and the transformation between coordinate systems we will discuss about. Thank you very much.